AC Milan to land Barca's goal machine? Manchester United are ready to splash the cash again, lining up a massive bid for a Real Madrid superstar. Trouble in paradise for Wirtz at Liverpool as cracks begin to show in the team. And a huge transfer battle is kicking off for Michael Olise as three Premier League giants go head-to-head to sign him. We're covering all that and more in today's video. Guys, let's try and hit 350 thumbs up on this one. Your support helps us make even better content for you. Let's get right into the latest transfer gossip. Robert Lewandowski to AC Milan? It sounds like pure fantasy football, but the latest whispers from Tutto Mercato Web claim this is a real story brewing behind closed doors. The Italian giants are looking to repeat the trick of signing a La Liga legend, with Luka Modric as the blueprint. In fact, sporting director Iglitare has already sat down with the striker's agent, Pini Zahavi. The Pole's deal at Barça, signed in 2023, is for 3 years plus an option for one more, potentially keeping him there until 2027. But here's the twist. He only has one guaranteed year left. Barcelona can trigger the extension, but only if Robert delivers the goods. For the player, the choice is simple. He wants to stay in Catalonia. He's happy in the city. He's happy at the club. All right, a quick pause. Please hit that like or dislike button. Every bit of feedback is massive for us. Thanks for the support. It genuinely helps the channel keep going. But this is football, and there's always a catch. If Barca don't commit, and if the Saudi millions fail to tempt him again, what's to stop Lewandowski from making a Modric-style switch to Italy? Milan sees him as an instant fix, a man to provide firepower and leadership. Even at 37, Robert is a goal machine, and he's still banging them in consistently in La Liga. Remember last summer? Reports from Poland claimed he had insane offers from Saudi Arabia. We're talking triple his Barca wages. But Lewandowski was firm. His focus was on winning big trophies in Europe. That tells you all you need to know about his ambition. So here's his game plan. He waits for Barca's call. Will they keep him for another year? If it's a yes, he stays. If it's a no, he looks elsewhere. And that's when Milan becomes a very real contender, ready to hand him a key role in a huge project. For Milan, this is classic them, signing a seasoned pro for immediate impact. In the tactical world of Serie A player with his experience would fit right in. And the league is crying out for more star power to boost its appeal. The bottom line is this: it all hinges on Lewandowski's season. If he's still a match winner, Barca will almost certainly keep him. If they hesitate, Milan will be waiting to pounce. And all the while, the Saudi clubs are in the wings with offers that are almost impossible to ignore. At 37, Lewandowski faces a choice: loyalty to Barca, a new Italian adventure, or a massive payday. Milan are just waiting for their moment, ready to say, the San Siro is waiting for you. So, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City are all reportedly after the same guy. Michael Olise, who you'll remember moved to Bayern from Crystal Palace for about 60 million euros last year. And now, just 15 months later, his name is all over the English press again. Apparently, the big three are willing to splash 100 million euros on him. So why Olise? Well, it's pretty simple. He's turned into one of the best players in the Bundesliga and has had an insane start to the 2025/26 season. Already 5 goals and 6 assists in 9 matches. You just can't ignore stats like that. He quickly proved at Bayern that the move from Palace was no accident. It was him leveling up. Liverpool basically see him as the long-term Mo Salah replacement. Mo's future is still a bit of a mystery, and the club needs to get ready for what comes next. So it makes total sense that the Reds are buzzing about him. A guy who knows the Prem, has got the skills and the numbers to back it up. He'd slot perfectly into Arne Slot's setup. Chelsea are in on the action too. Even though they signed Garnacho and Binoy Gittins in the summer, let's be honest, the goals and assists haven't really been flowing from those guys. The people at Chelsea have wanted Olise for ages, and now they might finally get their man back in the league. They're desperate for a player at Stamford Bridge who can be relied on for goal contributions, and Olise has shown he can carry a team's attack. And you knew Manchester City wouldn't be left out. Pep Guardiola has apparently been a fan of the Frenchman since his Palace days. Even with a talent like Savio in the squad, it looks like Pep sees Olise as a more complete player who can make an impact right away. It's just how Guardiola operates. He's always looking to build that perfect squad, where every player gives him more options and makes the attack even scarier. But there's one big problem: Bayern. They've got him on a long contract, and they know the transfer market is crazy right now. I mean, if Mudryk went for nearly 100 million euros, Bayern will definitely demand more for a player like Olise, who is actually performing at a top club. That 100 million euros is just where the bidding starts. You can bet Bayern will be looking for 120 to 130 million euros minimum. For Olise, coming back to England would be a huge deal. He's already done it at Palace, but this is a different level. We're talking about fighting for the title and the Champions League. Liverpool, Chelsea, or City, they're all pretty tempting options. At Liverpool, he'd have the pressure of replacing Salah. At Chelsea, he could become the star player. And at City, he'd get to work under Pep. Right now, it all comes down to this. Will Bayern actually sell for 100 million euros? Or are they going to play hardball and try to get every penny they can out of the English clubs? But let's be real, the fact that these three giants are all chasing him makes this next transfer window look very, very tasty. And if anyone doubted Olise was a proper superstar, his start to the season and this level of interest is all the proof you need. The guy is a seriously hot property, and now we wait to see who's willing to put the biggest offer on the table. Jamie Carragher is at it again. Brutally honest, no holding back. This time, Florian Wirtz was in his sights. On Sky Sports, the former Liverpool defender said the young German offers nothing and is messing up the team's balance. I don't think the balance is right in the team. Florian Wirtz is a standout in that. He's not quite on it. He's a young kid in a new league. He's got plenty of time. But for me now, you've got to take him out for Liverpool to get back to what they were last season and then move on. Because right now, it's a mess, Carragher said. And to be fair, you look at the stats, and he's got a point. Wirtz has no goals and no assists so far. For a guy who was meant to be a future star of the attack, that is, putting it lightly, a terrible start. Wirtz himself has had to answer the critics. He gets that there's a lot of focus on him right now. Of course, I'd like to score or get a few assists, but no matter what people say, I'm staying calm. I know what I'm capable of, and I know at some point I'll definitely show it on the pitch. The young German is trying to keep his head up, but you can tell the pressure's on. At a club like Liverpool, they don't give you time to warm up, especially not after they've paid a fortune for you. Wirtz needs time to adapt, but some of you who've been watching me for weeks, you really don't. You've seen everything. Stop adapting and just subscribe already. You're thinking about it for so long, you'd think you were deciding whether to pay 100 million quid for yourselves. Spoiler, you don't have to. The button's free. But the issue isn't just the German kid. Carragher made the point that Liverpool in general just don't look like the team from last season, and you can't pin it all on Florian. Even Mo Salah isn't his usual crazy self from a year ago, and when he's not firing, the team's attack just isn't as scary. Add in the new guys who haven't quite fitted in yet, and you get a team that looks weaker, not stronger. The two big money signings, ISAK and Wirtz, really stand out. The club bet the house on them, and so far they're not even close to paying off. And you can't forget the manager in all this. So much money has been spent, so the expectations are way higher. But we all know that buying a bunch of stars is one thing, but actually building a team is something else entirely. Slot admitted they were desperate for new strikers, which is why they had to do the expensive ISAK deal. But now it's like, how does Slot fix this when his biggest buys are failing? In football, it's simple. If the team's struggling, people look at the manager first. Players can talk about needing time, but the fans and the papers will be demanding results yesterday. This whole thing with Wirtz is just the tip of the iceberg. Liverpool have kicked off this huge squad refresh, but right now it feels like they've taken a couple of steps back. Carragher's sounding the alarm bells, Wirtz is asking for time, and Slot is trying to figure it all out. The big question is, how long do they have to get it right? Because in the Prem, nobody hangs around. If you're not getting results, the other top teams will leave you for dust. According to TBR Football, Bayern Munich have made their decision. They are all in on Nicholas Jackson. The German Giants are so keen, they're ready to sign him even if the obligation to buy clause in his loan deal isn't activated. You'll remember the Senegalese striker's move this summer cost over £14 million in loan fees alone, making it one of the priciest in history. The deal says if Jackson starts 40 games, Bayern automatically have to cough up £56 million. But with a packed calendar, AFCON, and squad rotation, that number looks almost impossible to hit. But here's the twist. Munich couldn't care less about the fine print. The club has reportedly fallen for Jackson right from day one. TBR Football claims the board and coaches were blown away not just by his performances but by his attitude. Jackson and his team took a personal financial hit just to make the move happen, insisting that Bayern was his only destination. That kind of loyalty doesn't go unnoticed and created an instant connection that's stronger than any contract. His first goal for Bayern felt like a big moment too, finding the net in the Champions League against Pafos. But the real headline is that his partnership with Harry Kane is clicking. Many questioned if the two could play together, but they're proving to be a potent duo, giving the team a tactical edge they were missing. It's crazy to think that just this summer, club president Uli Hoeneß was predicting Jackson would be heading straight back to Chelsea. Now, the feeling inside the club has done a complete 180. Everyone in Munich is gearing up for talks with Chelsea. And let's be real, it would take a massive shock for Jackson not to stay in Germany for good. For the player himself, this is a career revival. At Chelsea, he never quite found his footing and was often slated for being inconsistent. At Bayern, it's the total opposite. They love his high-energy style and his work rate. He's a player who will run through a brick wall for the team, and that's exactly the kind of attitude that gets rewarded in the Bundesliga. What first looked like a risky venture, a high-cost loan with no guarantees, is now shaping up to be a perfect win-win. Bayern get a striker desperate to prove he's world-class, and Chelsea get to clear the decks and rebuild their attack. For Jackson, it's a golden opportunity to get his career back on track. For Bayern, it's a long-term solution. By the looks of it, his story in Munich has only just begun. Manchester United are once again preparing a significant attempt to enter the elite transfer market. This time, the focus is on Real Madrid midfielder Federico Valverde. Spanish outlet Fichajes reports that the Old Trafford club intends to make an €80 million offer for the Uruguayan in the January window. This story has been developing for months. Valverde's name has been regularly linked with United, but now it appears the rumors are solidifying into a concrete plan. And speaking of rumors and concrete facts, my analytics are full of rumors that you guys are constantly watching the videos. Let's turn that into a concrete action. Subscribe to the channel. We'll consider it your official transfer to our team. Ruben Amorim's team clearly wants to reset its midfield, and Valverde is seen as the ideal player for this project. Moreover, the Red Devils are reportedly willing to consider including Kobbie Mainoo in the deal to reduce the financial outlay. However, Valverde has 4 years remaining on his contract with Real Madrid, and it's unlikely anyone in Madrid is eager to let the player go. Under Xabi Alonso, he remains an essential figure in the starting lineup, and Los Blancos certainly won't release him without a fight. Furthermore, Transfermarkt values the Uruguayan not at €80 million, but at €130 million. So, if United genuinely want to compete for him, they will likely need to start with that figure, not the numbers circulating in the press. Valverde himself is already an established star. He has won everything possible with Real Madrid and is deservedly considered one of the best all-round midfielders in the world. His ability to both break up play and create makes him the true engine of a team. For United, such a transfer would be more than just a squad reinforcement. It would be a statement to the world that the club is ready to return to the top. A player of Valverde's caliber can change the atmosphere within a squad and have a real impact on results. But it must be understood, if Real Madrid were to decide to sell, the competition would be immense. Europe's top clubs would instantly join the race. In such circumstances, Manchester United would have to act quickly and decisively, or risk being left with nothing. This raises the main question. Are the Red Devils prepared to risk a huge sum for a player considered untouchable in Madrid? If it happens, we will witness one of the most high-profile transfers in years, and Valverde will have the chance to prove his value in the most intense league in the world, the English Premier League.